Hey, what's going on, cats and chicks out there? You know it is D-Man the Greaser, and I'm going to show you how to make a classic old-fashioned cocktail. Now, let's begin this tutorial, shall we? Here we go. Alrighty, so what is the old fashioned? Well, it's just a really good classic cocktail. I believe made in the early 20s, if not 30s. Some of you guys probably know more facts than I do. It is a classic cocktail. I believe it was created during the Prohibition era. Anyway, it's just a good old classic hearty American cocktail using bourbon, bitters, and different other stuff. To me, it's really notably famous from the show Mad Men. In my opinion, I think it's more popular with the show Mad Men with Don Draper. You know, that's kind of his favorite cocktail. And personally, my favorite cocktail, and probably the first cocktail I've ever made. And yeah, I'm gonna just show you guys how to make it. Of course, I had to put on like a little 50s kind of feel good suit kind of feel, just because, come on, making a good old fashioned cocktail. Alright, so let's get into the tutorial, shall we? Alrighty, so here are some of the ingredients that we're going to be using in our cocktail. And I'm going to just show you guys just what you kind of need. First is, now you can make it in the glass. I, however, like to first make it in a little mixing glass like this. Simple bar mixing glass. You can make this cocktail just in the glass you're going to be drinking in, but you can use just a big old mixing glass. Yeah, you're going to use a mixing glass. The main liquor you're going to be using is just a bourbon of your choice. Typically, I like to use Bullet Bourbon or Makers, but I don't have any of those. I am going to go to the store the next time I get paid to get some Bullet, but for now I'm just going to use old-fashioned bourbon. You can use a whiskey of your choice. Don't really matter. It's preferred to use bourbon just because it is a bourbon cocktail. Let's see. You're going to use just a little bit of tonic water. It's up to you. You can use tonic water. It doesn't really matter. You don't have to put it in. I like to put it in. I'll show you guys how you do it. Another main ingredient you're going to be really using is Angostura bitters. You can use just the typical one with the yellow cap on there. You can find it at your supermarket or so. Or you can find Angostura bitters with the orange flavor. I like to use both. It gives a little bit of a tangy flavor because it is kind of an orange taste to the cocktail. But typically most people just use regular good old bitters. You can find it at Walmart, your local grocery store, like liquor stores, whatever. And the next thing you're going to be using is going to be using a little bit of, you can use a sugar cube, or you can use simple syrup. I like to use sugar cube, but yeah. You can use sugar cube. Oh, and also, you guys are going to probably be needing a muddler, something like this, or something to muddle something in. You know, you can use just something like this. So yeah, a good muddler. And for your garnish, you're going to be using an orange. Now you're going to get an orange slice. So yeah, I'll cut that up like in the middle of the video or so. But yeah. So yeah, that's just basically your basic ingredients. So let's get into the cocktail making. Here we go. Alright, first things first. You're going to grab your mixing glass and pour about probably this much ice in there. And the key is just kind of dilute the ice a little bit. So yeah, or dilute the drink a little bit. So yeah. So you just grab a mixing glass full of ice. I've already put the sugar cube in the glass, so yeah, you can do that first. And next thing I'm going to do is just grab my bourbon. Again, it could be a bourbon of your choice. I'm just using Jim Beam just because that's all I got at the moment. I mean, I am going to go to the store and get some like Makers or Bullet Bourbon. But you know what? It'll just work as fine. You know, it's not my favorite in the world, but hey, you just have to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, so grab your bourbon and then pour about, I'd say about maybe 4 ounces, maybe 2 ounces or so. Yeah, I go with 4 ounces. Just depends how much you're making for somebody. You know, if you're gonna go for one, I think about maybe 2 ounces of bourbon, or yeah, 2 ounces of bourbon would be probably a good start. Yeah, that's probably about it. I may make some for my dad too. Yeah, I'm just gonna put about maybe 4 ounces of bourbon, just because I'm gonna give some to my dad. And yeah. Next, I already opened this. Get your tonic water. Just put a splash of it, not a whole lot, just a splash of tonic water. Yep, just get a splash of tonic water. I don't have a proper bar spoon, but I'm just gonna use a straw. And next thing you gotta do is kind of mix it in there. There you go. Now kind of set that to a side for a little bit, and then here comes where the bitters come in. So you already dropped your sugar cube. Next thing you know, I'm gonna add about maybe 4 or 5 dashes of Angostura bitters. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just kind of get those flavors on there. And I'm just gonna add a little bit of the orange bitters just for good texture. So I'm gonna add maybe 3 or 4 dashes of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here you go. Now, you grab your muddler, muddle in that sugar, kind of make sure it's kind of in a paste a little bit. Something like this. Again, it's kind of my favorite cocktail of all time, so yeah. So yeah, kind of make it more of like a paste. So yeah, something like this. So you just muddle that sugar cube in with all those bitters, and yeah. Now, the next part is you're going to be pouring all your bourbon. Here you go. Just give it a good stir for extra measure. Why not? I'm going to take a little bit of ice out of there. Who knows? I know I'm using my bare hands to get out the ice, but you know what? So who cares? Yeah, it's just more for dilution a little bit and make it cold. Yeah, this is about a good amount of ice. Alrighty, and here we go with the orange. So you're just going to cut up an orange. I didn't do this yet before I started the video, so just gonna cut up an orange slice, just like so. Now, typically with the old-fashioned, typically you just use the peel of the orange. I, however, like to have the whole slice in there. So just a simple slice of orange into the drink, and yeah, that's pretty much your old-fashioned. Here, let me get the camera to pop up over here. So yeah, this is just your classic old-fashioned, just something that you can make at home easy. You know, may cost a little bit for like the bourbon or so. It depends on the bourbon you're gonna buy, but it's actually a pretty easy drink to make, and the ingredients are really cheap. You can buy them anywhere. The lighting's kind of glaring on my glasses, so yeah. It's a very easy cocktail. I personally like the Old Fashions. That's personally my favorite cocktail. I should have sniffed it first, but it's a good cocktail. You'll tend to do that with whiskeys. You know, with the Old Fashioned, for me, it really introduced me to more flavors of whiskey. Which, again, I don't like Jim Beam all that much. That's why I personally don't care for this one in particular. Again, I'm gonna go to the store pretty soon. Again, bullet bourbon to make proper old fashions, but I'm gonna do that once I get paid again. But other than that, it's a really good cocktail. It's a good starter to make. You don't need a shaker or anything. You just get a muddler, or you can just make it in the glass itself. You don't have to use a sugar cube. Some people just use simple syrup with the bitters. I like the sugar cube better just because it is kind of more traditional that way. But yeah, you know, it kind of introduces you to more about whiskey, different flavors. And it's a good manly cocktail, like I have to say. It ain't these fruity, like hipster beverages that you see hipsters and square strength. Just something that you can just sip on. Delicious. You can smoke a good cigar while drinking a good old fashioned. You know, there's different pairings you can use with it. Other than that, it's just a really good cocktail. You know, no wonder like Don Draper likes his cocktail. You know, to be honest, I think I should have used. I got some Royal Crown Royal in the back here. I could have used that, but you know what? You'll live and learn. But yeah. Okay, I think you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just drink safe. Make your own cocktails. Tell me about how you made your old fashions, and I'll see you on the next one. Dig it. Cheers.